Good morning. I'm here with my friend Casey, and we're going to be doing an art therapy session, um, working on some coping skills and some just processing her thoughts regarding some things that she has going on right now. So I'm going to turn it over to her and kind of explain what we're going to be working on today, and we'll kind of pause this throughout the recording just so that we can, since it's 15 minutes, so that we can have time to kind of work through everything, and we'll take pictures and kind of follow up at the end with the end production.
Hello, my name is Casey, and got a couple things going on right now in regards to grief specifically. I had a grandparent that I lost a little over a year ago. That was really hard because she was like a matriarchal, motherly figure to me. Always looked up to her and the way she nurtured her kids and her grandkids, and just loved them, like with no restraints, you know. She was just like a joy carrier for our family. And she'd been sick for several years, and not being able, because she lived away from here, not being able to like be with her in those moments as she was getting more sick and spend time with her just kind of hurts, you know, when you think about it. So she died a year ago, a week and a half ago, I think. But a month prior to this 1 year anniversary, a good friend of mine, her mother-in-law passed away, and she was very similar to her, same, just very nurturing, very loving, joy carrier for her family as well. I've known her for a decade. And she got really sick really fast. I was able to at least spend some time with her and you know, get some final thoughts and words. But it was very triggering, losing her and just knowing, I guess, how similar she was to my grandmother. So just trying to process through that and not blame myself, I guess, not blame myself as in like it's my fault kind of situation, but not blame myself for not spending enough time with them. So we're gonna draw. We're gonna start with our heart here. Got my little heart.
So this project is called Heartstrings. So she's going to start with her heart, and inside the heart she's going to write some of the feelings that she's been holding on in regard to this. And then she's going to also paint over those words with colors that she identifies with those words. And then we will bring some strings to the heart with some coping mechanisms that she can use in the future when she's thinking about this, or stressed or anxious about any of these thoughts and feelings. Right. So Casey's going to share a little bit about her art process. We talked about going over the different words that she put in her heart, kind of the feelings that are on her heart right now, and the colors that she chose to represent those words, the feelings she has associated with those. And then off to the sides she has her heartstrings, and those are different coping mechanisms that she selected to kind of help cope with some of those emotions. So if you want to go ahead and share that.
Yeah. So the words that I have in here are grief, abandonment, being too busy. Some of these are phrases. Being too busy, taking care of those people that I lost, and then lost time. So these are all words that I feel like I could have done better at. These are words that like sit in my soul a little bit and make me feel maybe a little less than as a granddaughter, or just as a person, that maybe I wasn't attentive enough to them, even though my life is just as crazy and busy. So those are words that I kind of struggle with, I would say, in this like process. As far as like the colors, I think I did kind of the reverse of what these words mean to me. So the words in my head, I guess, would be like reds and darker greens, blues, kind of more moody colors. So I chose to do the opposite because I want to reverse that. I want to feel more at peace about the loss of them. So I tried to pick like the purples and the pinks for the love that I have for them in my heart, that they're always there in my heart, no matter that they're in heaven now. And then the same with like the oranges and the yellows, a brighter tomorrow than today, and like what I'm feeling. And the green just for kind of rebirth, I guess, of having a clear conscience and a clear mind, and hoping to I guess, make better choices and decisions moving forward with other friends or family members. Just being able to be more present and remember how I felt at these losses and try to kind of reverse that for future times. So on my heartstrings, I've got ways that I can kind of work on this. Prayer is number one for me. Anytime I'm feeling down and alone or anxious or the grief creeps back in, I stop and I pray about it. The second one would be just self-reflection in general. And I think self-reflection and prayer can go a lot, hand in hand, just kind of spending time in your emotion, obviously not letting it like overtake you, but I don't think it's a bad thing to remember the good and bad moments and self-reflecting on how that could be different. Puzzles brings me just a lot of peace and joy. I enjoy doing those, especially with my kids. So that's very helpful. Sharing memories like with other family members or with friends, I think is just a good way to look past the grief and remember those good times, and remember that the good always outweighs the bad at the end of the day. And just being able to have friends and family that will reflect with you is, I think, very important. And I'm very lucky that I have both. Music, a dance instructor, so music is extremely important to me for any emotion that you're feeling. So music definitely helps me. And then just going back and looking at photos. I have photos of my grandmother by my bedside, and I look at them very often. And again, it kind of helps me self-reflect and goes back to like sharing the memories. And so these are things that are currently helping me, and then I know that will continue to help me. So, and again, that growth of just learning from and growing and being better as I move forward.
Awesome. So I know most of the words that you kind of talked about were really tied to grief. Like, can you tell me a little bit about the abandonment and kind of how you're feeling about that? And
abandonment in that I feel like I could have done more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I
abandoned her.
Abandoned her. Specifically my grandmother. Just feeling like she was always a caretaker and she always took care of us. And I think in my head I had this vision that one day I would take care of her in return, that I would be that granddaughter that was always there for her and gave her the support that she needed. And I had young kids, and it was not working out, unfortunately. And so sometimes, yes, I feel like maybe I abandoned her when she was in her worst time, when her brain was deteriorating and her thoughts were gone, and everyone else was having to take care of that, and I was not able to be a part of that in the way that I wanted to be. So
do you feel like you've gotten like a more peaceful place now that it's been kind of a year out, and kind of realizing that you weren't necessarily abandoning her, you were also taking care of your responsibilities at home? And have you kind of felt a little more at peace with that? And if so, what have you been doing to kind of help ease that? And if not, what do you think would help you feel less guilty about being less available?
Yeah, I do feel like it's gotten easier. It has gotten better. Obviously, there's times and moments, certain songs, certain activities, even like things that I do with my kids, like doing the puzzles. That's something my grandmother would have done with me. Sitting down and coloring with them. Those will be like moments that I will remember her and reflect back on. Just, I think in general, just it's actually the moments that I would least expect it that I feel the most peace, like when I'm hand washing dishes. I don't know, there's something about, because she always hand washed dishes. She did a lot of cooking and baking when we were growing up. So it's like in those moments when I'm taking care of my family, the way that she took care of us, I feel a lot more at peace about it, because I'm doing exactly, I think, what she instilled in me and what she kind of passed down to me. Even though she did say before her death, she said she felt like she didn't, maybe she wasn't successful, I guess is kind of the way she worded it. Like, my life was just me taking care of kids and my family, but I did tell her, I did verbalize to her, I said, but that means so much to us. Like, you've instilled in us how important family is and how beautiful work, what beautiful work it is to be able to take care of your kids and take care of a home and to do it with joy. And so I find a lot more joy now in taking care of my family and in taking care of my home that I previously did not feel. And so I think in those moments I can feel more peaceful that I didn't actually abandon her, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, taking care of my kids, my family. Yeah.
Awesome. What do you think your heart needs from you?
My heart needs for me to not worry, to not stress about things that I can't control. So more prayer. I think it needs more prayer.
And how do you think you'll incorporate these new coping skills? I know most of them you said are not really new. They're kind of, but now that you're aware of the different emotions that you are feeling, like how do you think that you'll incorporate those when you're feeling these different emotions?
I mean, I think when those emotions just creep in, just knowing like it's okay to just stop what you're doing and it's okay to feel them for a minute. Like it's not a bad thing to feel deep emotions. It's just being able to recognize them and then being able to use the coping mechanism. So, you know, if I'm driving and I hear a song and it reminds me of her, I may not turn the song off because I want to continue to feel what I'm feeling because it needs to come out of my system. But then immediately after, I'll pray about it and say, you know, Lord, thank you for giving me that moment of reflection on her and what she, you know, gave me in my lifetime, but also helped me to feel a little less emotional moving forward. Yeah, I think that way.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. Do you have any questions for me, or did you find this helpful?
Yes, this was very helpful, very cute.
Awesome.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.